right, let me tell you a little bit about Stone Ridge. It has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms, just shy of 1,800 square feet. And the price, I can't even take it, $190,000.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Are you guys ready to check it out?
Yeah, let's.
We are
do
ready.
this.
David Bromstad, the charismatic and colorful host of HGTV's My Lottery Dream Home, is celebrated for his bold design style and infectious charm. But in 2015, his bright public image was suddenly clouded by controversy when a lawsuit was filed against him. The allegations were unexpected and explosive, casting a shadow over the star's polished reputation. Fans were left wondering how someone so full of joy could be caught in such personal turmoil. Join us as we tell you the real reason why David Bromstad was sued.
How much did you win?
I won $1 million.
How'd you win?
Bought the $30 ticket and I scratched it off. I seen the 1 million ticket, I just started shaking, and at the time she worked across the street from the grocery store, so I ran across the street.
He was paler than usual.
It was like, baby, your husband's the luckiest man alive.
In 2015, Jeffrey Glasgow filed a lawsuit against David Bromstad. It came as a shock not only to fans, but also to those within the design and television industry. For over a decade, David and Jeffrey had been in a committed relationship. Though they were never legally married, they lived together, shared financial responsibilities, and were deeply integrated into each other's lives, personally and professionally. Glasgow's lawsuit alleged that David had violated a cohabitation agreement, a verbal understanding they had during their relationship regarding shared property, expenses, and lifestyle. While cohabitation agreements are not always legally binding in the absence of formal documentation, Glasgow claimed they had a mutual agreement resembling what married couples might arrange informally. But what truly caught the public's attention were the more salacious claims included in Jeffrey's legal filings. He accused David of misusing their shared funds for illegal and promiscuous activities, alleging that this behavior ultimately led to the breakdown of their relationship. According to Jeffrey, these actions not only hurt him emotionally, but also left him financially damaged. He requested the legal partition of a condo they shared and claimed that David had violated their mutual understanding of trust and financial transparency. The lawsuit quickly became tabloid fodder, with headlines painting a grim picture of a celebrity embroiled in personal scandal. Fans of Bromstad were divided, some defending him, while others awaited legal clarity. The absence of a public response from David added an air of mystery to the case. As the court proceedings unfolded, the answers slowly began to surface, offering clarity on what really led to this legal battle. As the legal filings made their way through the Miami-Dade County court system, it quickly became clear that this case was not going to proceed the way Jeffrey had likely hoped. His initial lawsuit was met with firm resistance from David Bromstad's legal team. The court reviewed the claims and determined that they lacked the necessary legal foundation and evidence to proceed. In fact, the judge overseeing the case went so far as to call the allegations among the most scandalous they had ever seen in court. Without concrete proof, such as financial records, eyewitness accounts, or formal agreements, the case was dismissed outright. Not deterred, Jeffrey attempted to revive the case by refiling it later that same year. This second attempt included similar accusations, but once again, the court found the claims to be unsubstantiated. What made this dismissal even more significant was that the judge imposed legal sanctions on Jeffrey for bringing forth the lawsuit again. This was a major blow to Jeffrey's credibility and a major victory for David. Throughout both dismissals, David Bromstad remained mostly silent. He didn't issue emotional public statements or post-traumatic responses online. Instead, he allowed his attorneys to handle the matter quietly and professionally. This calm and composed approach not only protected his public image, but also demonstrated a level of restraint that many admired. The court's decision ultimately cleared David of any legal wrongdoing and allowed him to move forward without the weight of ongoing litigation. Despite the serious nature of the allegations, David's career didn't falter. In fact, his show My Lottery Dream Home continued to gain popularity, airing new episodes without interruption. Viewers tuned in not to watch a man involved in the scandal, but to see the familiar face they had come to trust, delivering joy, creativity, and genuine excitement to lottery winners seeking their dream homes. If anything, the lack of dramatic response from David seemed to reinforce his professionalism and integrity. The court ruling, especially the sanctions imposed on Glasgow, painted a clear picture that the claims had no legal standing. Even behind the scenes, David stayed focused. He remained committed to his brand, launched new design projects, and maintained a strong presence on social media, never alluding to the lawsuit or feeding into the drama. This quiet resilience allowed him to rebuild his narrative on his own terms. By choosing not to publicly engage with the controversy, he demonstrated a calm confidence that, in hindsight, may have helped him emerge stronger than ever before. While the lawsuit itself was public, its emotional ripples were felt in David Bromstad's private life, especially when it came to trust and future relationships. Being dragged into a legal dispute by someone he once loved and lived with for over a decade left a deep emotional scar. David's close friends hinted in interviews and social media that he became more guarded after the legal battle. He once trusted people easily, but then became more cautious. Being a public figure made him realize that every personal misstep has the potential to become a headline. That kind of pressure became isolating. Still, despite this, David didn't let the experience turn him bitter. Over time, he found ways to reconnect with friends and maintain his signature lighthearted spirit on screen. David Bromstad's path to HGTV fame was anything but handed to him. Born and raised in the small town of Cokato, Minnesota, David was the youngest of 4 and grew up in a modest, hardworking family. From an early age, he was drawn to color, creativity, and animation, a passion that led him to Florida's prestigious Ringling College of Art and Design, a feeder school for Disney. There, he studied illustration and earned an internship with Disney itself, where he learned the finer points of visual storytelling, color theory, and design psychology, skills that would later become his artistic trademarks. But life after Disney wasn't easy. David eventually lost his job, struggled financially, and even lived out of his car at one point while hustling for design gigs in Miami. The glamorous career many now associate with him was built from grit, sacrifice, and unrelenting determination. So when a friend suggested he audition for HGTV's Design Star in 2006, David saw it not as a shortcut, but as a final shot. Filming his application video in a makeshift studio in his apartment, he poured every ounce of personality, humor, and color into his submission. It worked. He not only landed a spot on the show, he won the entire first season. That win opened the door to Color Splash, which first aired in 2007. David's bold color choices and exuberant spirit made him a breakout star. Then, in 2015, he was chosen to host My Lottery Dream Home, a show tailor-made for his empathetic energy and infectious charm. Over the years, he has turned that platform into a long-standing career beloved by millions. But David has never forgotten the struggle it took to get here. He's protective of what he's built, because it wasn't luck that got him here, it was resilience. And despite the ups and downs in his personal life, one thing is clear. David Bromstad is a master of his craft, and he's not letting anyone take that away. After the dust of the legal battle settled, David Bromstad chose a path of quiet reflection rather than public retaliation. On his 50th birthday, he shared a deeply personal moment on social media, images from a solo hiking trip through the breathtaking landscapes of Norway. Accompanying those images was a heartfelt message about reclaiming peace, grounding oneself in the present, and finding closure with the past. The timing of that trip made it clear that emotional wounds don't simply fade with the news cycle. David's message focused on gratitude and forgiveness, emphasizing how adversity can sharpen one's self-awareness and shift one's life perspective. And just as life tends to surprise when least expected, David found love once again. In 2021, he quietly began dating Nicholas Martin, a French masseur from Lyon. The two reportedly met at a design convention in Paris and instantly connected over their shared love of travel, aesthetics, and grounded living. Nicholas brought a calm, gentle energy that perfectly balanced David's vibrant persona. While the couple keeps their relationship mostly private, occasional photos and public outings reveal a bond marked by quiet affection and genuine companionship. After years of emotional turbulence, David not only found peace, he found someone to share it with. In love, in life, and in work, David Bromstad is thriving, not in spite of the past, but because he chose to rise above it.